Hello people, I am Divya Kandukuri and I am here to talk about Bollywood today. First things first, a new film Dhadak starring newcomers Janhvi Kapoor and Ishan Khattar has just released. It's breaking box office records and hailed as a hit. So I watched it to see how it was. If you aren't already aware that this film is not a new film as such because it is a remake or adaptation of a Marathi film called Sairat which released in 2016. Which wouldn't be such a big deal except that Dhadak is nothing but a launchpad for the Bollywood star kids at the cost of a story that explained caste dynamics in love. Dhadak is the latest in the long list of films that try to handle caste issue but show the bias of upper caste filmmakers who confuse caste with class. In Sairat, Manjuli showed the lead character belonging to a fisherman community living in a hut in a lower class locality, thus accurately depicting the living conditions of the caste he comes from. On the other hand, in Dhadak, the protagonist Madhukar Bangla, played by Khattar, belongs to a well-to-do middle-class family who owns a restaurant. There is no reference of the living conditions of the caste he belongs to, other than Ishan Khattar's father mentioning that they belong to a lower caste community a couple of times. Caste is completely erased. Sairat was made by a lower caste filmmaker having lower caste cast and crew, whereas Dhadak is directed by Shashank Khaitan, who is an upper caste, starring Janhvi Kapoor and Ishan Khattar, who are again upper caste. Basically, it overrides representation by casting upper caste people in roles that weren't meant for them. I'll give you a small example of what I'm talking about. In Sairat, Parsha, the protagonist, waits for the call from Archie, and the same scene is mirrored in Dhadak. But there is a huge difference. In Sairat, as per true representation, Parsha comes from a lower caste family who doesn't have a phone and have to use his friends. He waits eagerly for Archie's call. The same thing happens in Dhadak. But Bhagla also waits for Pathvi's call eagerly, which is stupid because he owns a restaurant. All they do is shot by shot copy and show him and his friends waiting for the call. But the small fact is he has a phone and Parsha does not have one. This is important because poor representation is still bad representation. You can't just use caste as a plot device and not use it right. Over the last few years, Indian media has witnessed a tremendous growth in the discourse around caste. But whose perspective is taken into consideration is something that needs to be noted. There are very few mainstream films that deal with characters from lower caste communities in 100 years of Hindi cinema. The most powerful explorations about caste issues have been in parallel cinemas and in the films from South, though their two films come intertwined with the larger themes of poverty, rural feudalism and exploitation. Basically from an upper caste and leftist perspective. I am here to ask you some questions. Think about it. Think of all the surnames of the protagonists in the films you watch. Who are portrayed as the villains? Who makes these films? At whose expense are we being entertained? The set of people in films that involve caste consists of upper caste people making films for upper caste people, starring upper caste people. And they do this demonizing other communities, especially the marginalized. And what's more, while all the directors, producers and the writers are upper caste, it is the Bahujan labor that makes these films possible. Spot boys, lightmen, background actors, punched down characters. Let me give you a few examples. The movie Aaja Nachle has a song with the lyrics Mohalle mein kaisa mara mari hai, bole mochi bhi khud ko sunar hai, which translates to there is a chaos in the neighborhood and even the mochi is calling himself a sunar. The mochi caste is an untouchable caste which now comes under scheduled caste, whereas Sunar caste is an artisan caste which comes under OBC category. There was a huge outrage from the Dalit right groups over the film and it was banned in some states. Let's talk about the film Khoobsurat. Kiran Kher, who plays the role of Manju, curses Ratna Pathak Shah, who plays the role of a queen, as Royal Kanjar Khana. Kanjar Khana literally means house full of Kanjar people, whereas Kanjar community is a nomadic tribe found in northern part of India. She uses the word Kanjar as a slur. I'll take Sanjay Leela Bansali's films Padmavat and Bajirao Mastani as examples. In Padmavat, we all have seen this aggressive assertion of Rajput pride and glorification of their caste, which is not just toxic but also extremely casteist. Has a lower caste community ever got this space in cinema? Will they ever? No. Now let's talk about Bajirao Mastani. This film is all about glorification of Peshwa regime, erasing the caste atrocities they committed by erasing the history of how Dalits were treated under his regime. The character in these films are explicitly casteist, whereas there is another category called woke films by woke filmmakers who make films that they think are really progressive, but in reality, they are not. And there are so many more. The role of Kachra in Lagan, Swades, Omkara, Delhi 6, and so on. And there are other films like Tumhari Sulu or Queen, which speaks about feminism that we've never been able to grasp. When it comes to feminism and movies that are made from feminist POV, it is important to ask whose feminism it actually is. Whose life are they talking about? Because it's not mine, but that's an explainer for another video. Coming back to Dhadak and rest of the crap that Bollywood puts out, when upper caste try to talk about caste, their intention is to commercialize our resistance, make money out of our struggles, normalize the Brahminical setup of hierarchies. So, how do we de-Brahmanize cinema? Are there any films made by the people from the community? How different are these films from the mainstream? Answer is yes, there are, and they are vastly different. Nagaraj Manjule's Fandri, Sairat, Paranjit's Kala Kabali have paved a path for the process of de-Brahmanizing the Indian cinema. They break the cultural hegemony created by the Brahmin Baniya media of India. You will see assertion in these films, not the sad victimhood. And you know why? Because representation matters in all fronts, behind the camera and in front of it. That's why women-centric films should be made by women. Films with transgender issues should have a transgender lead. And films that talk about caste should cast people from the lower caste community. Duh! This is the time for everyone to realize that subalterns can speak for themselves. And you need to pass on that mic that you have been holding for ages now. I want to tell my own story and I hate hearing it from your lenses. So let's do this. You talk about yours, I'll talk about mine. Thank you. Hey guys, if you like this video, feel free to give feedback in the comments and let me know what else you want to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to BuzzFeed India and my Instagram and Twitter account, which is Everyday Casteism.